On May 14th, Forrest Galante posted an interview with a man who says he saw a wild thylacine in Tasmania. And he had pictures. These pictures showed an incredibly lifelike animal, seemingly in motion and very clearly a thylacine. Almost immediately though, people who were familiar with the art of ex-user Archisuchus said, wait a minute, this guy posted pictures of a realistic, scale model, posable thylacine just yesterday. Coincidence? Well, Archisuchus wants you to think so. The artist immediately started a campaign to distance themselves from the claimed sighting, employing everything from accusations to outright mockery. But in our opinion, they really just made the case against themselves. In attempting to replicate one of the pictures, again for the sake of mockery, they gave us a glimpse of just how perfectly the stripe placement and anatomy of their model matches the animal that was photographed. And you might be thinking, well, doesn't that just mean they made a perfectly accurate thylacine model? And the answer is no. Thylacines have a notoriously low heel compared to other digitigrade mammals, something that Archisuchus' model did not capture. And in the original picture, the pushing angle of the back leg suggests an inappropriately high heel that matches the model perfectly. In addition, this photo of the thylacine's gaped jaw struck many as off, somehow. It doesn't quite capture the look of a yawning thylacine as we've seen it in other pictures. It does, however, perfectly match the profile of Archisuchus' model. Other things to note. Archisuchus is from the Chicago area, same as the person that Forrest interviewed. They frequently post lifelike images of other extinct species models, with text suggesting that they encountered them in real life. Though it should be said, this isn't an attempt to deceive so much as the posts themselves are actually just a part of the art. And they frequently use a combination of low light and blur effect that strongly resemble those found in the thylacine photos. This creates a loss of detail that lends believability at a glance. It makes them really hard to pick apart. The individual in the interview is asked for details of their travel to Tasmania and the place of the sighting itself. Here, their testimony really fell apart. They didn't know the names of airports or cities, incorrectly referenced places on the mainland in relation to Tasmania, and seemed to refer to notes on their computer screen whenever they became confused. They described a direct flight from O'Hare International Airport to Hobart in Tasmania, a route which doesn't exist, and the location given for the sighting is roughly twice as far from the city of Hobart as they claim to have driven. They were clearly improvising some details. This individual never went to Tasmania. And perhaps most damning of all, the day before this character reached out to Forrest Galante offering to share these photos, Archisuchus posted on X, responding to the prompt, "Name one thing better than sex." They answered, "A living thylacine in 2024. They had probably just gotten back from taking the now famous photos. So what happened? We think they'd secured the interview with Forrest shortly after reaching out, but no sooner than April 23rd. They must have sat around waiting for it to make the news, but after 2 weeks or so had passed without any buzz, they got tired of waiting and, beginning on May 8th, they started to share images of their life-size replica with the public, showing it in its full glory on May 13th. Unfortunately for them, Forrest published his interview the day after, and they had seemingly already given themselves away. So, a scramble to save face ensued. This is what we're alleging. And while I don't condone the attempt at deception, Archisuchus almost deserved to pull one over on us. Their art is incredible. Seriously, you need to go check out their content on X. Sketch art, lifelike physical models, effective and engaging photos of these models, written narrative content. Archisuchus is a truly talented artist and storyteller, and not enough good can be said of their life-size thylacine model. Guys, it is so good. Good enough, I believe, that for a minute it raised the whole world's pulse and made us think we'd seen a real thylacine. Go check them out, and go there with love and patronage for their art only. The jury's still out on whether or not they tried to do something silly, and if that ends up being the case, let's all forgive it, because my gosh, they deserve the pass.